The only way this episode could have been better is at some point they would have played Jailhouse Rock. I mean, Hawaii does love Elvis after all. Welcome to the show. I'm Metatron Urel. This is Nephilim Entertainment. And this is the brand new coverage of Inhumans. And this is episode 3, Divide and Conquer. When we last left our group, all hell broke loose. Just made an entire cluster of everything. So, what we got going on? Okay, we got Black Bolt. He has somehow made it to prison. Yeah, he's got him a nice little orange jumpsuit and trade for those nice little threads he thought that he could just walk out with. And he apparently has made a new cellmate friend. And when this new friend comes a mystery, apparently a doctor who I'm guessing is going to probably be a big influence in the future episodes, has made a deal with this said person and is offering him something in return for our fearless leader, Black Bolt. So, wonder what's going on there. And with Black Bolt being in prison, we got Medusa, who is just kind of wandering around. You know, it's kind of like she's on a nice little adventure through Hawaii where apparently shaven women in purple dresses get absolutely no attention whatsoever to themselves. But I guess with her locks of love being chopped off, she's really got nothing to make the people want to stop and take notice to her. So I guess it works beneficial for her. You know, at least she can be incognito, you know, kind of snoop around, get a lay of the land. But I don't know, the short hair is working for her, even though she's not too happy about it. And then you got Gorgon. He's kind of rallying the troops. Apparently the guys that he is with out by the beach are ex-military. So, hey, kudos. Ex-military. So that means that, you know, when the humans come with their supernatural gifts, they won't freak out. Honestly, I don't see where the beneficial of having trained troops will be beneficial against people with superpowers. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, every MCU movie and TV show we have seen thus far, anytime the military tries to step in and tries to help, they end up getting their ass handed to them. Every time. It always takes some superpower freak to help take down the villain. And I mean, I'm sorry, but military, I got full respect for you in real life, but in any kind of superhero show, you're a joke. We don't need to bother. I mean, yeah, it's just the military has absolutely no help whatsoever in any kind of superhero show whatsoever. But and then back on the moon, Crystal and Maximus are trying to work out a deal. Well, mainly Maximus is trying to manipulate her into, I guess, you know, giving him the hail to the king kind of vibe. But I don't know if Crystal's gonna exactly feel that. I mean, brother-in-law is kind of sort of the king, and let's face it, he's the less crazier of the two brothers. So, yeah, Maximus being king, he wants to do away with sort of like their little class system, which I guess, if you think about it, is all fine and dandy. I mean, let's face it, you deal with classes all the time, people, and even in modern times, you still deal with classes. But I guess if it becomes where it influences the status of people, yeah, I can see why they want to do away with it. But at the same time, if you really think about it, oh Maxie, he should be in the mines with everybody else, but Daddy prevented him from being in the mines because I guess you can have that influence when you're king. So that's one way of looking at it. Of course, you got Aura, who's kind of, you know, leading the charge on Earth, and Maximus is apparently wanting to send her some help along the way. Yeah, but Mortis. Who is Mortis? I've never heard of him. Apparently, he's popped up in the story, and he is Death. as Aura likes to put it. He's not strength or anything, he's death. That is a very, very discouraging fact. So, when Mortis is this sort of Maximus grasping at straws to try to get everything to go his way, and once again, Karnak is having trouble with his ability, but my theory, head injury could probably do it to you. Just saying. I mean, dude, chill out. Everything's fine. I don't think you're permanently scarred. I just think with you having a head injury, it probably makes a big influence on your powers. I foresee Karnak having some deep, deep, deep spiritual, personal growth. He probably becomes sort of, in a way, spiritually connected to the people around him, blah, blah, blah. Either way, I see a big turning point for Karnak's character, because if you watch the first 2 episodes, he's kind of a space cadet. He's so invested into his own powers that he fails to see the relationships in front of him. And he apparently doesn't make any wrong choices. I don't know if that's out of pride or what, but he takes pride in his power. I will say that. He does take pride in his power. With it failing on him, I think he kind of feels like he's failing the group. I can see where, him being an advisor to the king, I can see why that'd be a big issue for him. But, Black Belt's cellmate, I'm sorry I did not catch his name, but apparently he wants to interrogate Black Bolt on where he got his powers from. And, he's listening to, a lot of Easter eggs there. One, he, talks about getting bit by a radioactive bug. Possibly a mention throwback to Spider-Man, which, hey, I'm all down for them showing Spider-Man in any of the MCU TV shows. I mean, I would love to see that. I don't know if they could fill the big budget, but hey, get one of the movie stars to actually appear in the movie. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. did it. Why not do it in Inhumans? That might actually help the show and keep it alive. But he, for some reason, is very, very familiar with the Tetragenous transformation, which all Inhumans go through to don their powers. How do you know this, buddy? Tell me. How do you know this? Quite familiar with it. For it being something new, apparently, in this world. And with all that said and done, because in this episode it bounces around between at least 4 different storylines. You got Aura versus Gorgon. And it's a pretty well even match between the 2 of them. I mean, you got Gorgon, who's able to stomp his foot and make giant craters in the ground. You got Aura, whose powers apparently is still a mystery. By the way, you got a nice little fight going on between them, and the Inhumans and the troops are actually doing well for each other until Mortis comes along. That's when the humans are not really killed, but they absolutely have no chance whatsoever. None. Excuse me, no chance whatsoever. Mortis apparently has a facial blast. I don't know if it's an optic eye beam. He exhales a laser beam, or if his face is just a laser beam. I don't know. It doesn't really go into detail. And I, for one, think it's interesting. You got someone who's got an optic blast, considering that the X-Men have their own little fearless leader who has an optic blast. Throwback once again, Easter egg. Anybody? I mean, seems like they're trying to throw a lot of throwbacks into this, I guess, to get you sort of invested in a world to where you think, well, maybe there's a possibility I could like this show. I'm hooked. I'm sold. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm hooked. But in this nice little fight, apparently Mortis is more than what they can handle or what they expected. So Gorgon apparently wants to do a retreat and get his wits about him, try to figure out what to do next, which is a good call, because apparently Mortis was a little bit more hot than what he can handle. But in this, like I said, they're bouncing around. Karnak, he's feeling absolutely vulnerable. He's prepared to die. He's prepared to die. If anyone caught that, he's prepared to die. He thought all dude was going to come in there and stab him with a knife. he was getting ready to make his big speech and declaration. He was dying in the name of the king and blah, 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 and they let him go. I guess this is where we're going to start seeing a little bit more of a character development for Karnak. You know, he's going to tie up with these people who apparently are selling the green. And I'm not talking about lettuce. Yeah. Drugs are bad, kids. Drugs are bad. But, yeah, I'm just wondering if their characters are each going to have their own little, I guess, turnabout, because with Gorgon, he has to fight the people that he trained. You got Black Bolt, who's basically living an out life, like not a pampered little kid. You got Medusa, same thing. She wants to announce herself as queen, and I am queen. And she's having to live a humble life too. I mean, she's even having to go through and ransack people's houses at this point. Black Bolt is in a prison. Gorgon is fighting out in the wild against people he trained himself. And then Karnak is he has absolutely no idea what to do. I see a lot of character development in this as far as them each going against their opposite nature. With the King Queen, it's humbleness. With Gorgon, it's having to fight against the people that you took care of. And Karnak, it's to be lost. Ever since he donned his powers, he's lost. And even Maximus is having a hard time. He is having a very, very hard time. Because up in the moon, and with all their sort of shift of power, Crystal, she just says, you know what? I'm done. And she leads sort of her own personal revolt. Freezes the guards, takes off to go find a lockjaw. And which Maximus, of course, has a way of spinning it. He always does. That should be his inhuman power. Even though he claims that he doesn't have one. He is twisting this around to make it seem like the family is just throwing up their hands and calling it quits for the whole inhuman populace. It's a good story. It's a good twist. I will admit, he can make a good story go. So, with that happening, you got her wanting to take off. Well, in the midst of all this, you get a background story of Black Bolt and Maximus as kids. You find out that apparently Black Bolt actually had a voice that he could speak with. He was able to actually speak to his parents and to his brother. And you find out that little Maximus was a douchebag even back then too. Thinking that the king could do whatever he wanted and that he had a right to be just as much king as Black Bolt did. And you find out that his parents actually were Black Bolt's parents are actually the ones that saw he had a gift, but had absolutely no means to try to keep him locked up. I'm guessing that's where, and of course you find out Maximus didn't don any powers, okay? But I guess in a way you find out that Black Bolt has been pampered. He has been pampered, which he turned out okay, by my guess. Especially since we find out in the first couple episodes he killed his parents with his own power. Explains why he doesn't speak much. But with all that, you find out, about Black Bolt's past. Get that all sorted out. His first day on Earth, whew, it's intense. I mean, he leads a charge against the police, and even in the jail, he's got major problems for fighting the police. I noticed that. That was, wow. Go to police, and everybody's ready to pat you in the back and lift you up on their shoulders. Go Black Bolt. Your first day in prison apparently does not make the prison guard too happy whenever the inmates are actually welcoming you in, like fellowship. And he caused a riot his first day, which of course led to his escape. And we find out old cellmate of his is an Inhuman too. Who would have thought? Touches anything and melts it down to where he's able to escape prison. Hey, he's got himself an ally. First day. Leads a prison riot. First day. I'm just wondering if we'll find out, if he... I'm guessing he's his little cellmate, which he's not so little. I guess he's a descendant of an Inhuman, so that's why he has the ability and why he woke up with the tetragenous and became an Inhuman. and don the powers, but we'll find out more about that. But it all comes ahead whenever they're escaping the prison. The doctor who calls the cellmate in is welcoming them onto a helicopter after their escape. They take off. Medusa also misses them. There's a reporter who's been popping up, and I didn't cover much because I didn't see much point to her. I should have known better, because apparently she's going to now be Medusa's little unwilling sidekick. So they're going to go lead off to find out what happened to Black Bolt. And Crystal, after leading this revolt, got a hold of Lockjaw. She got on Earth. Well, we found out what Lockjaw's weakness is. Four-wheelers. Oh, I know. Poor dog. As soon as he gets to Earth. Oh, God. Poor guy. He gets run over by a four-wheeler as soon as they get to Earth. He's injured. Crystal seems a little flustered. Oh, dude's like, what's going on? Welcome to Earth. That's all I can say. Welcome to Earth. Okay, up next for the Inhumans, we're gonna deal with a lot of I'm guessing Medusa in this next episode, because now she's gonna have to go on a manhunt for her hubby. He's taken off. Hopefully we'll find out what's up with this doctor. Maybe find out, his story, find out his background, blah, blah. But that's going to do it right for me. What do you guys think? Do you think that the show's taking off to hit the ground running, or a lot of moving parts? What's your thoughts about this below? Do you think Black Bolt and Medusa will get reconnected anytime soon? Do you think that Gorgon will be able to stand a chance against Mortis? And will Aura finally get taken out, even though she was shanked already by Medusa? Karnak, our boy Karnak, you think he's going to have this nice little epiphany? Do you think he's going to come back to full terms with what's going on with him? But what about Maximus? Maximus ever going to meet his comeuppance? Let me know down below. Let me give me a comment, like my page. And my name is Metatron Urel. You're watching Nephilim Entertainment. To all your daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.